Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Take a Billion. Okay. Hopefully, this is the last one. Okay. But again, as I said, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am truly honored to introduce a transformative opportunity that goes beyond the bounds of traditional education. Embark on a journey of healing and growth with Marqes Smith's Reclaiming Resilience, Navigating Healing and Growth course. Tailored for those seeking to overcome the profound challenges of sexual assault and molestation. This course is a beacon of compassion and empowerment. Led by the insightful Marqes Smith, participants will delve into the intricacies of trauma recovery, armed with the practical strategies to foster resilience. This empowering experience offers guided exercises for self-discovery, enabling individuals to rewrite their narratives and redefine their identities. Emphasizing the crucial role of community, this course provides actionable steps to build and maintain supportive networks, fostering sustained healing and growth. Join us in this compassionate exploration as we navigate the path to empowerment and well-being. This module 1, is called Foundations of Resilience. And in this course, you will find out what's the importance of resilience. Why do we have a foundation of resilience? Why not a foundation of anger or this or that? Like, what's the importance of a foundation of resilience? And you'll figure out that resilience is not just what you expect it to be, what you think, oh, it just means staying strong and continuing on. No. Resilience can be saying, I need help. I need a community. I need people around me. I need to get professional help. I need a conversation where I can't do this myself. Right? We think that we have to do it ourselves. And I wanted to make a course where it's okay. It's fine that you can't do it yourself. I couldn't do it myself. I had to go and find help. I had to go do something to heal my inner self, to heal the traumatic experience that I went through. And in this module of Foundations of Resilience, a couple of topics that we're going to discuss is trauma recovery strategies, things that we're doing to recover from this traumatic event. Like, what's the tips and things that you can learn to where you can deal with this trauma in a healthy way, right? In a healthy way, which means not drinking alcohol, right? Not indulging and overindulging in alcohol intake. People find ways to deal with things differently. Addiction, right? Pornography, everything, overeating, gluttony. So this is ways where you can recover from trauma in a healthy way. Tips, right? Because I'm only an advisor. I can only advise, right? This is for educational purposes. I am not a professional, right? I'm doing this, and I'll say it again and again throughout this entire course, that this course is something that is for healing and building a community. I want to build a community of people who, in the beginning, right, who I was before this, I wasn't ready for it. Because I was in a place in my mind to where, oh yeah, I didn't even think that this was an issue. Oh, I was molested twice as a child. Twice. And I'm sitting here wondering what's going on. Like, why am I not fully who I am and all that I know I can be? Like, what am I missing? If you want to find out what you can be doing to heal yourself, to get rid of that internal anger, this is the course for you. This is the course for you. Okay? I'm putting so much passion. I'm putting so much intent because I want something amazing and beautiful to come out of this. I want to build a community of people to where it's a cycle of healing instead of a cycle of curses and generational cycles of pain and hurt people hurting people. That's what I want. The next thing that we're going to talk about is resilience, building techniques of staying resilient, right? Because there's going to be days where you fall short. You may not, be your best every day, But these techniques, these tips are going to help you to where you can manage better, to have a healthier life. Identity redefinition. You are not a victim. You are a survivor. You have survived something that was traumatic. You were sexually assaulted, molested. Okay? You're not a victim. You are a survivor. You went through something and now you're dealing with it in a healthy way. I am proud of you for even watching this video before even getting the course. Right? The fact that you're still watching and listening to this video, it shows that you are interested in something more than just the tools that were given to you, which is what anger and all the things that we have to go out and look for, because we're not looking for the healthy things. We stay around the things that we're surrounded by because we don't know anything else. And I want to talk about, because this is in tangent, how you say it. This is in regards to my podcast, NTheRealestWay. I talk about meaningful, beautiful conversations in the realest way. And I wanted this course to be in regards to that, right? You want to talk about healing and growing. And yes, this conversation about sexual assault and being molested is very important. I talk about it on my podcast with Mental Health Part 1 and Part 2 with Travis. But my podcast talks about so much more. So this is a gateway to a community that's bigger than just that, right? You want to talk about all kind of conversations? I'm here. I want to have those conversations, these meaningful, beautiful conversations. I want to. Empowerment and well-being. We want to feel empowered. We want to have a good well-being, a good mental space, right? I haven't been in a good mental space, mental health in a long time. I haven't been myself in a long time. Ever since those days where that happened, I lost a part of myself. And I'm slowly but surely building and becoming the person that I know I can be. I know I can be this person. And this course is going to help you become that person that you know that you can be. Meaningful connections, community. Like I said before, I want to build a community of people who we find a way to get through this stuff, right? I'm not perfect. I may ask for somebody to help me, right? I want this to be something to where it's lifting each other up, no matter how different we are. Diversity, love it. I want this to have a place of community. Build on it. So when people say, well, what does your course provide differently than other people? First of all, I'm having an honest conversation. But also, I want to rely on the people who are getting this course and watching my podcast to build a community of people. Solid people with a foundation of resilience. They're not perfect. I'm not saying you're going to be perfect after you listen to this course, watch this course, but you're going to be moving towards healing, moving towards growing. That's what I want. That's what we need. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. And I'm not set on the pricing. It may go up. I doubt it'll go down, okay? Because I'm putting a lot of energy into this, and I know that this is my first course class. But I'm putting a lot of energy, a lot of time into this. It's a lot of work outside of the work that I actually have to do. So yes, it may be. Some people will say, well, why is this course so much? Why is it? Because it talks about really meaningful conversations, and it really dives deep into the depths of sexual assault and being molested. And you're going to hear stories about how I overcame it and everything that I'm doing to become a better person. It is going to give you so much. It's going to give you so much. So yes, I'm starting it at $99.99, $100. Okay. Yes, I am. But it is something that is important that you need to have. And even if you haven't necessarily been a victim, change that. Come on now. We're changing the words now. A survivor of sexual assault or being molested. And you just want to understand somebody who has been through it. Right? Because this is for the parents and this is for the friends and this is for the people who haven't necessarily been through this thing. But they want to understand, like, I didn't know that they went through this. My family didn't know that. Some of them didn't know that I went through this. So this is for people too who are wanting to figure out and learn what did you experience and how can I help people, right? You're not a professional, okay? Let's make that clear. But how can I help this person and build a community around this person that is full of love and support, right? And I can see, oh, this is something that could be happening, right? Because you may not notice it. Again, you don't notice the tools that you may be able to have if you never noticed it or you never knew that you had them before. So it's not just for the survivors, but also for the people who are supporting the survivors. I implore anybody, okay? This is for a community of people, for everybody to go through an experience. So it would mean so much to me if you took the time to participate in my course. I'm putting 100% of everything of who I am in this. So thank you. This is Reclaiming Resilience, Navigating Healing and Growth course class. Thank you so much for your time. I hope to see you there. Okay, now we're going to get into, honey, the podcast episode, because I wanted them to be in tangent. That's a word I'm looking for that I cannot find. Anyway, I want them to be related to each other because they are. They're a part of me. This is something I'm going through. But now for the introduction into the podcast episode. Welcome back to NTheRealestWay podcast by Marqes Smith, where we talk about so many topics in the realest way. On this podcast episode, I want to talk about the importance of not just covering something, but exposing it. And I talked about it in different aspects on my podcast already, but I want to talk about it in a different way to where it's related to something different, right? Just because it may seem like it's the same, it does not mean it's always the same. But let me pull my thing up to make sure everything is going fine. Okay. Covering and exposure. What does that mean? What do you think it means? Okay. Let's start there. What do you think it means? You can comment or reply however you or subconsciously. What do you think exposing means? Exposure. And what do you think covering means? In the sense of things that need to be talked about. What do you think that means? Because I'm telling you right now, covering means you're putting, just think about a blanket, right? There is something that is on your bed that is in dire need of attention and help and people to support it and everything, right? Imagine that. There is something that needs to be talked about, needs to be worked through. But every morning you look at it after you get up out your bed and you're like, okay, I'm just going to cover it. I'm just going to cover it, right? Oh, I'm going to cover it. I'm going to cover it. I'm going to get to it later or this doesn't matter, right? All kind of situations that happen to where we feel like we got to cover it. Just cover it. Oh, it'll be okay. It'll go away on its own. And I said it before and I'll say it right now. If you're not actively pursuing change in this world, if you're not moving towards healing and growth and trying to not just be ignorant, because everybody's ignorant. We don't know everything, but choosing to be ignorant, that's the problem. If you're choosing to be ignorant when there's people out here suffering and you're deciding to cover, oh, I'm going to cover it. Every single day you're choosing to cover something that needs to have attention, you're a problem. You're the problem. If you're not a part of the solution and you're on standby and you're not on, oh, I'm not picking sides, I'm just going to stay neutral, you are the problem, right? You're one more reason why this situation is happening in this world and why it's not changing. Because you think it doesn't matter. You think because you're not implicated in it, then it's okay. And like I said before, you have a state of privilege. Everybody that is not affected by something, you have privilege because you're not affected by it. It's not affecting you. So you have privilege from it. Okay? You walk, and I used the example before. I'll use it again. I'm going to keep saying it over and over until it finally, we get more people to understand, more people in the community to understand that, okay, you're in high school. Everybody with blue hair is getting attacked and bullied constantly every single day. And you're not doing anything about it. You have a state of, you have privilege. And you're not using your privilege to help the people who need it. Okay? Now apply that to real world problems that are going on right now. You have privilege. Use it. Use your voice. And you say, well, my voice doesn't matter. You're not using it. And imagine if every person who said that was actually using their voices in any sense, in mental health, in sexual assault, and people being molested, in all these important conversations, right? We feel like we don't have a voice, so we don't use it. Because we've been taught that, oh, it's fine, let's just throw it away, or put it under the rug or push it aside, right? Let's cover it with a blanket, right? Let's cover it instead of exposing it, letting it be what it is. There's people dying right now. There's people that are suffering right now. Expose it. Let it be seen by the world and then act on it. Let's stop pretending that we're not involved until it's at our front doorstep knocking. Okay? Because at that point, it's too late for you. Now you asking people, can you help me? What about the people who needed your help when you had a sense of privilege? Because everybody thinks that it's not affecting them until it's affected them. No longer, please, no longer covering. Let's stop covering things. And that's in the sense of waiting for another day, in the sense of, oh, it doesn't matter. So many times I would talk about things that were important and there were really meaningful conversations in my life, right? Or just conversations that need to be talked about. I told my friend one time, oh, Starbucks? McDonald's? Not no more, right? I'm not gonna go too far into detail, honey, but just know if you're in the move and you're doing what you need to do, you will understand that no. And they would think that, oh, my little Starbucks, oh, it doesn't matter. My little Starbucks? I'm not affecting the world. You're crazy. You're delusional, right? We don't realize how much of an impact we have as people, that we can make a change. And that was one reason why I was so invested in creating the course class, right? Because it was a sense of a lot of people were covering. They were covering something that didn't need to be covered, especially in that topic. And when I exposed it, a lot of people became uncomfortable. That's what happens. We get to a point to where I realized that I was put on this earth in some way to expose. I say a lot that's on my mind. I know it's a downfall, right? I know it's something that brings me down sometimes, but it's also a gift that God has given me to be able to see things as they are and expose them. Once I expose the sexual assault and, being molested at a young age to my family, to the world, right? It was, oh, well, this is, and this and that, and oh, I didn't know this, and I didn't know that, right? It didn't come from a place of, how are you feeling? Are you okay? I'm so sorry I wasn't here for that, right? And again, that was their way, whether they knew it or not, for covering a situation instead of exposing it. And I think it's also been so normalized that it's done subconsciously now. We just do it subconsciously now. We just cover things now. We don't realize that we're just covering it. Oh, okay. And I realize how tiring it is to watch the news and look on your phone. I get mentally exhausted, right? I'm not saying to just invest your entire life and really let it drain who you are. I'm not saying that. But I want you to understand how important it is to be exposed to this stuff, to let it be exposed. We are the people who could change the world. Do you realize that? As us, in the realest way, realize that we are the people. We're the people who could change the world. By having a community of people who are standing up for the injustice that we are dealing with on a daily basis. Wake up and decide that I'm not going to cover anymore. Instead, I'm going to expose. And I said it before. The world is not going to change until we actually expose and eradicate everything that we used to do before. We think that, oh, we're going to just put this on here and oh, it's going to be fine. Like, we're just going to put this into the system and put that. The system is the problem. The system is the problem. Okay? You can't put something new into a system that is going to decide to chew it up and spit it out again later, right? It's not going to stick. But you know what will stick? A community of people. I said it again. And it's going to be like, what's that thing they be saying? A dying record. It's going to be a dying record, okay? By having a community of people who stand up, right? I'm in the military, and they have become a lot more serious about sexual assault and sexual harassment, right? I'm proud of the military. I'm so thankful that they're having conversations that are really important, and that we're not standing for the things that used to happen anymore. And there was a video that they showed us numerous times about sexual assault, sexual harassment, and it was so impactful. It was so beautiful. This man giving a speech about how that could be the thing that could just destroy the foundations of what you created. By not saying anything and by not doing this and deciding to be an advocate for stopping it, you are allowing the problem to continue. More people, we need to start talking about these things. We have to. Yes, it's in regards to sexual assault and harassment and all these things, but it's also in regards to mental health and all the problems that we have in this world that we could solve if we had meaningful conversations. We understood each other. Sometimes the issue is we don't understand each other. That's the conflict. If we have a conversation, oh, well, I don't like when you do this, or I don't like when you do that. That's the problem. Then we can have a way of going through it. I remember one time I was in high school, and I talked about her before on the podcast, earlier on in the podcast. My friend from high school, a complicated person, right? Nothing wrong with her. Just a complicated person where some people just don't understand her from the beginning. You have to know her for a long period of time to understand the person that she is and why she is that person. Beautiful soul. Nothing bad to say about her. Okay? After all we experienced, wish her the best. But I done forgot what I was saying, talking about her for. Jesus, if I didn't went on that whole tangent, I tell you, I will forget. I'm really finna sit here. Let me sit here and think. Because why did I mention her? Oh, it was a situation. I hate when I do that. Okay. It was a situation that happened when we were, I say like maybe second grade, third grade. Either way, we was young. Okay, we was really young, and she was left-handed. I don't know if she's ambidextrous or whatever, but she was using her left hand. So if she's using her left hand, okay, so she's on the right side, and I'm right-handed, and I'm right, and I'm on the left side. So this is my hand, and this her hand, and we just bumping because we writing and stuff, and we just sitting here and just rustling and tussling, right? And the teacher had to come. It was a substitute teacher. What's her name? Love it. I be loving me some substitute teachers. They are so amazing, beautiful people, right? I've never had when I was in my high school, and I'm on a tangent again, but she just I forget her name, but I'm blessed that I had her. Okay. Anyway, we were just pushing each other, bumping. Oh Lord, the helicopter coming. Pushing and bumping. And the substitute teacher had to come over and say, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Well, she keep pushing me. I'm trying to write and stuff. I'm trying to learn. Homegirl keep getting in my way." And she was like, "You realize, oh, she's left-handed and you're right-handed. That's the problem. So just move apart a little bit, right? Or sit somewhere else, right?" I don't remember what the solution was. I know it got solved. I'm pretty sure we just moved over a little bit. It was like, oh, okay. The issue's gone, right? We just had a miscommunication. We didn't understand each other. So that's the main point of this conversation. I'm going to end it because it's a helicopter in the background, okay? And yeah, but just really be important, like really understand that we have the power to change the world. We really, really do. And the sooner we realize that, the sooner that this world can change. Also, buy my course for 99.99 cents. Okay. Like I said at the end of every podcast episode, I give thanks to the utmost, to the highest power, God. I'm thankful for my friends and my family. I am truly, truly grateful. Buy my course, okay? Please. 99.99. This is In the Real Estate Podcast. Out.